Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 189 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekly edition, and on the last weekend edition that I did, I mentioned that this video might be something a little bit different. And here I am holding my favorite turning tool in my hand, so that's a little bit of a hint, but if you want to see what this video is about, you know what to do. All you need to do is stay tuned. Well, the special event that I've kind of been keeping you in suspense about during the introduction of this video was that over this last weekend, I had the pleasure of hosting a turning class here for the Hub City Turners. They're a Saskatoon-based club, and the instructor for the weekend was Trent Watts. Now, the class is an introductory level class, but there are a number of students that have taken the class a time or two because every time you go through it, there's different things you can pick up. In fact, I even picked something up. I thought I knew this class like the back of my hand, and all of a sudden I have to learn how to use my scrapers again. I'm just not that kind of turner. But anyway, Trent is a marvelous instructor. He's got excellent skills. He's a very, very good teacher and just an all-around good guy to have running a class. Having it in my shop, there I provide the lathes and the technical support and all that stuff. And I do believe it's important that there is only one instructor. So I don't butt in and try to teach and show things, or at least I sure try not hard not to, because it is important that there's one class leader. But anyway, I run around, do technical support, get wood ready and all that stuff. And that's my job. And that way Trent can teach. And hopefully what's happening is the students are getting a really good experience because Trent doesn't have to shut the class down to go out and cut a blank for somebody and stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun again this weekend. These things are wonderful to host. We had 5 students here. On our sign-up sheet, there were a couple more. Comfortably in the shop, I could handle 8 students. If we really, really got pushed, I could probably handle 10. But that would be a few too many as far as I'm concerned. And I think then when you get that many people, it just gets harder to meet everybody's needs. So this class worked out very well. I'm always so impressed with the people that come out to these classes. They're so nice to work with. There's the friendship and the camaraderie that happens. And a lot of times, for me especially, I maybe haven't met these people before. Maybe at a Hub City Turner meeting or something, I might see them. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The class that we teach is, I'm going to call it an introduction to turning class. So it's a 2-day class on Saturday. Saturday, we turned between centers. We made this little mallet. I think the student blanks were just a little bit bigger than this. And this one has a crack in it. And I always try to use the cracked pieces up for demos, providing they're stable and they're not going to come apart and cause an injury to somebody. We are protected for that. I've got my trusty screen here. But so we turned between centers. We did a little bit of burn line stuff. We did a wee little bit of chatter. And just basically using the roughing gouge, spindle gouge, detail gouge, parting tool. And I think that's about it. So this was Saturday, and we got started late. I'm about 35 minutes out of Saskatoon, and I always joke with my city turning friends that it's a lot closer if I drive in than if they drive out. So we're kind of used to driving out here. So anyway, that was Saturday. Sunday, we turned a wet bowl. So this is green birch. This is also birch. This is wood that's kind of native to our province, and that's one of the things I like to do. I like to turn with the wood that I have. So often that's box elder or Manitoba maple and northern birch. So this bowl is already elongating. So, and I think they're cool when they do that. So this was, I bought a couple of smaller birch trunks from, or tree trunks from my birch supplier. And we cut them up into blanks and away we went. We had a great time turning. So um, the one thing that Trent does towards the end of Sunday is if there's enough interest in it, he tells the students that he'll turn a natural edge bowl just for demo. So that's what he did at the end of Sunday, the sort of to finish off the class, the big send off kind of thing. And that's what I captured on video. So I have about 20 minutes of Trent turning a natural edge bowl. I haven't really looked at the footage yet, so if I might need to edit a little bit. But and I'll apologize to Trent in advance. I've got some really goofy camera angles here because I have our protection screen here, which for liability purposes, it's good to have. And with 5 people crowded around here, I was kind of on my shop step ladder, reaching over the top. So I have some good footage of Trent's head. So my apologies for that. It was kind of an impromptu, spur of the moment thing. I decided I wanted to shoot some video, but I'd been so busy. We had so much fun with the class. It slipped my mind till the end of Sunday, and I did the best I could with what I have. But hopefully, you can look at this, and if you've never turned a natural edge bull, maybe this is the video that says, "Hey, I need to learn that," and maybe it gets you looking for a class in your area. Um, yeah. So with that in mind, let's turn this over to Trent, turning a natural edge bowl.
So this is where that 3-point drive comes in really handy because I've got a very uneven surface. Now, on this one, I've put it so that rather than the point going into where there isn't as much wood, I've tried to get it on the center, on the roundest part of the log so that the points line up. Can you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm putting pressure on here by tightening the tailstock, making sure it doesn't slide back, and just getting those points buried enough so they're going to hold. Because I'm going to be going fairly quickly here because of, and we just don't have a lot of time. So you're going to be in the line of fire for where the wood's coming off. So I'm spinning it. I'm going to turn it down. I don't want to start really fast. Remember, speed is an important thing. Okay, so I'm getting my tool in here. Now I'm hanging over a long way, and so I'm getting a bit of jumping, so I'm just going to stop, come back here. Now we just want to do a little more finesse work on making that foot. So I'm going to move my tool rest in here a little closer, use this other smaller tool. And remember, we want a square edge here. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this outer round edge here. And I want to stop it and I want to check. So I still need to do a little bit more cutting to get a clean edge. And this is the part that's why I didn't want you to start out with this kind of a bowl, because when you're finishing the top, you've got wood, air, 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 wood, air, air, air. And so the tiniest little movement, and it's hard to do that. So it's a good bowl to practice on after you've had a good type of bowl to practice on after you've had a bit more experience. I'm not happy with the shape. If you can kind of see there's a bit of a bump there, you might not see it, and that depending on what angle you're on. I can see that I haven't quite got that top, so I'm going to come back here, take a bit more off, and then try and make one pass all the way through to get a nice finished cut. Now I have to slow my feed rate down just a little bit to make sure I don't get bounces as I hit the air, wood, air, wood, air. Okay, let's stop that. So when I look at this, I see there's a little bit of a bump there, and I want that a little bit not quite so round. So I'm just going to take one more swipe through here. I'm going to speed it up just a bit. This is a chunk of, very wet wood. Is that what you asked? Yeah. I'm looking back here. You are. Yeah. Once I get my tool under control, I just keep following that same arc without moving my body, other than just in that smooth arc. And I'm looking back here to make sure that my tool isn't going back and forth, and I get a smooth curve all the way down. And that's going to do for me. I'm happy with how that looks. So we've got the outside of the bowl done. Oh yeah, right past the edge. Yeah. And that bottom's maybe a little bit big, but I think as long as it fits on the chuck, we're going to be fine.
I like seeing how it holds its wood.
Oh, yeah. That's the 40 years of experience.
Okay, so now we've got the bowl so that it's secure in the chuck. I'm going to remove the tailstock so that I can get at removing the inside of the bowl. I'll take that back to there. Get the tool rest set up. So we want to be cutting at about center. We always want to turn the bowl by hand to make sure we don't have a spot that's going to hit the tool rest. That should work for what I want to do. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. And so we're going to start at the center. Then we're going to go back here. Now I'm starting to hang over a little bit further. So I'm just going to stop, move my tool rest so that I can put the tool rest inside the bowl so that I have more control over my tool. And I turn it again by hand to make sure that one of those edges doesn't hit the tool rest. All the way through. I'm leaving. So at this point, I can see I'm still that thick at the bottom, so I've got to go deeper. And I might, because that might make it a bit unstable, I'm going to take a little bit more off here with my other tool. No, I'm just going to redo that tool rest so that I can get it in a little further. Okay, now we got to turn it and make sure we're not hitting anywhere. And make sure it's really good and tight, because if it moves, then you've lost your edge. I think we'll leave it, well, maybe just take a 1/16 more, so that because it's going to move once it dries out. But I want to leave that at a decent thickness, so it's not so thick that it looks clunky. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now we're a little bit. So we're just going to check the thickness here. So, whoops. That's how thick we are, about 1/4 inch. And then we get down here and we get quite thick. So I think we're going to be okay if we just go around that corner. So I still need to take a bit more out of the ball. I'm going to use this other tool. It vibrates a bit less. Notice how much slower I have to go. We talked about how the surface speed is way less as I get to a smaller diameter. So my feed rate has to slow right down, or I'm going to just tear wood fibers out. When I get to the very center, it's a really, really slow approach so that you don't tear the fibers out. Okay, just a bit more in the bottom, and then we'll call it good. Now, where's that scraper? I'll just try and see if I can clean that bottom up just a little bit. And remember, if I go from big diameter to small diameter, I should get a little cleaner cut when I'm on the inside of a side grain bowl. Okay, now we're going to take this out. We're just going to double check, thank you. This is a little harder to do on a bowl like this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because then you have to go, make sure that we're good. Now, this doesn't work well for this kind of a bowl. So the one, did I put it? So now I'm going to move the tailstock up. I've checked the depth, and I need to incorporate the foot into my design a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit too thin on the bottom. So I want to find that spot. Just gently touch that. Put pressure against the rubber dam that's on the vacuum chuck, and then that will cause enough friction that it'll drive. Okay, so now we make sure there's nothing touching it. We're turning it on. Right now, I'm just trying to pay some attention to the design of the foot and how it incorporates into the original curves that we put on the outside of the bowl. And you can see just the movement of the wood. We have a little bit of out of round. It's bouncing a little bit. And that's just the nature of wood as it moves. I'm not happy with how that part looks in there, so I'm going to try and do a little bit more finesse of a cut. Sometimes we rarely lie on our sides in our kitchens to look at what a bowl looks like. So it really is nicer to hold it up this way than to try and imagine, what it looks like. So we can look like that, and we can decide, that doesn't look too bad. The bottom is good. This part in here hasn't completely the cut that I made here hasn't completely joined that one, but I think it's going to be better to just let this dry, and then this part could be sanded out, and this bottom could be just ground off with the sanding disc. So that's it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully my camera angles didn't bother you too much. But sometimes when you shoot things kind of on the spur of the moment, it's not as well planned. And this whole YouTube thing, I'm almost at 200 videos, but I'm still learning. So yeah, so like I said, check out a local class if you're close to one and you'd like to learn about turning. And that's a really, really good hobby to get into. Not even all that expensive, although you can spend a lot of money if you want to. So anyway, that brings this video to a close. I'm getting close to 200 videos, and I was kind of thinking to myself that maybe at 200 videos I might take a little bit of a break. I'm not sure yet. I keep changing my mind on this with teaching and YouTube and trying to finish things on the yard. I have to admit I'm starting to feel a little bit burned out. So maybe a month or so away from it might be a good thing. I don't intend to quit though. Like I'm in this. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the subscriber count is slow, but it would sure be great if that could speed up a bit. But anyway, with that in mind, I won't just quit making videos. I will let you know, and I'll tell you about how long I won't be. So if that happens, who knows, I might feel way better tomorrow, and away we go again. So anyway, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Share these videos with your friends if you have them. Subscribe, please, and watch. I'd really appreciate it if you'd watch these videos. So with that in mind, the weekend edition will be coming up quickly because it's already Wednesday evening, and we'll see what we can do. I think I know what the weekend edition is going to be. We might be back on that side of the shop sharpening something again. So anyway, have a great rest of the week. Take care and happy tuning.